Hey guys, welcome back to the Hez Project. I'm John Ordalaza, and yes, I got a new little mic today. You guys like it? And we're gonna be talking about a brand new film, the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. I believe it's the third SpongeBob movie because we had the original back in whenever it came out, and then we had the weird 3D one that they came out with a few years back called Sponge Out of Water. And then now this one. So we have a SpongeBob Trilogy coming to a close. Not really, actually. Each movie is basically kind of like the show. You know, every episode, every journey, adventure just kind of erases what just happened, ignores it. It's very, you know, it's like that. I don't know how to explain it. It's like serialized. Is that the term? I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, here we go. It's on a brand new streaming service. It's Paramount Plus. Got another one digging their hands right into my pocket. So let's get into this. I grew up loving SpongeBob. It was one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. You know, Tom and Jerry was one of them, of course, but this one was the most dynamic out of the two. There was just more going on with SpongeBob, and there was more to do with them when you have characters who speak. I love the first SpongeBob film. I've seen it countless times. The second one was all right. It really wasn't anything that special. This one is kind of promising. Honestly, I do like this style of 3D that they did over the one in the second movie. This one has a little bit of a claymation, stop motion type vibe to it, and I really do appreciate it. It looks very unique and very different. There are environments and certain characters that have aspects of them that look kind of real. Sandy Cheeks has hair all over her body, of course, and it looks a little realistic as opposed to just, oh, she's a smooth-skinned squirrel. Like, no, you're not. I just appreciate the look of this film and how different it feels from the other movie that tried the 3D like this. However, I will say this is the most modern and detached movie of the SpongeBob movies. You know, the first one really just feels like it is part of SpongeBob. It's part of his lore or whatnot. There's a scene where they're basically dreaming. It's a dream sequence. You know, it's directed by Zack Snyder. and basically, so they wake up inside a boatmobile and they're looking around and they see a desert landscape. I'm like, huh? Well, I guess there's probably desert landscapes in the deep blue sea. No, this is real. They're the only animated thing in this shot. This is all real desert. And then they pull up in an old western town, and then at that point you're like, oh yeah, it's a dream. So you see a bunch of cowboys, and then for some reason the cowboys are zombies, and then they start having a musical, and then the leader, like the dead king, whatever the hell his name is, he's played by Danny Trejo. Dude, I don't know. This was just so random to me. It didn't make any sense. Snoop Dogg was there during the musical number, started rapping. Cool, sure. It's what, like, at this point, I'm like, what is going on? What is the point of this dream sequence? This is to, like, what? What is this here for? If some kids fell asleep halfway through the movie, you're trying to wake them up? Like, this was just terrible, stupid. It made no sense. I felt stupid watching this part. It was not interesting, not entertaining to me. And yeah, they burned what's his face to a crisp, Danny Trejo. They burned him to a crisp because I guess he's a vampire. I don't know. I thought there were zombies, but he's a vampire because he literally every aspect of him, he lights his knives on fire. He's got fire in his eyes, but a little bit of sunlight burnt him. This doesn't make any sense. Other than what I just spoiled, I'm not going to spoil anything else, I promise. In case you guys want to go in blind for the SpongeBob movie. One thing you can never go wrong with in a SpongeBob anything, whether it's a TV show, a mini movie, or a full featured film, is the voice acting. They're incredible voices. Tom Kenny, he does the narration and the voice of SpongeBob. Fantastic voice actor. And Mr. Lawrence, who does Plankton, Clancy Brown, who does Mr. Krabs. They're all incredible voices I grew up with and love. And if you listen closely, you can hear these main characters like Clancy Brown and Tom Kenny voicing other characters throughout the movie and throughout the old cartoon. Even in Dragon Ball Z, you get a lot of the main voice actors voicing smaller, lesser characters in the properties. And that's really cool. You get to see a dynamic side to these voice actors, more so than what you would get for an on-screen actor. And that's what I really appreciate about animated stuff like this. And SpongeBob, like I said, holds a very special place in my heart. I grew up with it. The plot of this movie is not the greatest. We have a King Poseidon. Yeah, he's not Neptune from the first movie. Plankton realizes that SpongeBob is the sole reason why he cannot capture the Krabby Patty formula, so he tries to get him out of the picture by getting rid of Gary. The humor in here was actually not terrible. Like, it was actually pretty good. I didn't feel like my intelligence was being insulted by, like, the Tom and Jerry movie made me feel. Like, there was nothing intelligent or anything really funny from that script. It's still juvenile, it's still your typical Nickelodeon humor, but that's what I grew up with, so it's a cheap shot, if you will. It's gonna get me some way, and goddamn, that Patrick always gets me. He does something stupid, says something silly, and just out of the ordinary. It'll always get me. I love Patrick. He's great. This is a better children's film, a better kids film, a better family film than Tom and Jerry is. In my opinion, it is better than that. It just hits home a little better, a little different. There's no bullcrap like filling your screen with a bunch of humans. Like, again, that's only one scene. This is probably the most it's been, I think. This one and the second SpongeBob film had the most humans in them. But even then, even at its core, and even at its outer core, it was still a SpongeBob movie. So anyways, guys, let me know down below, have you seen the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run? Are you a fan of SpongeBob? Did you grow up with it like I did? Let me know down below your favorite episode, favorite moment, favorite character, favorite movie. Just tell me all down below. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and be sure to stick around because I'm doing reviews for all of Zack Snyder's films. We're almost done. We got Sucker Punch, Legend of the Guardians, and then Justice League, well, the Joss Whedon one, but we're all leading up to Zack Snyder's directed Justice League. It's coming to HBO Max March 18th, so yeah, in about 2 weeks. So you might want to stick around, guys, because there's always more to come.